Hey everybody, Amy Bowser-Tennant here, the genealogy reporter, and today is Family Story Friday. I've entitled this little tidbit, The Kitty Chronicles, because if you're a lover of cats, like my family has been, you've got a lot of funny kitty stories. Like the time I was feeding our dear Barbara a delicious raisin cream-filled dubby cake on the porch when a giant storm blew up. And 1 minute she was there, and the next she was gone. Blew right off the porch. She was okay, no problem. But we lost a big old tree in that storm. Or the time Mom and Dad dropped off their beloved Vicky to be spayed, only she ended up being neutered. Vicky turned out to be a victor. But my all-time favorite stories are, of course, my stories of when I became a cat owner. My first cat was Precious. That was her name. She loved to hide in cabinets and rooms she wasn't supposed to be in, and anywhere she could hide that she wasn't supposed to be. She loved to do that. Well, one day I had noticed I hadn't seen her for quite a while. And I hollered for her, here, kitty, 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 Precious. And I heard her muffled cries. Meow, meow. What could it be? Where could she be? So I hollered for her again. I looked in all her usual places. I could still hear her muffled cries, but I couldn't find her anywhere. About 15 minutes goes by. And in those 15 minutes, I'm starting to get kind of panicked. I can hear her, but I can't find her. I can tell it's definitely coming from the kitchen. So I go into the kitchen and holler again, Precious, where are you? Here, kitty, kitty, here, kitty, kitty. I hear the muffled cries and I think, could she be in the refrigerator? I open the door and there she sat on the empty shelf. Like, oh my word. Of course she was freezing. So I pop her into the microwave to warm her up. I'm kidding. Very funny. No, I didn't pop her in the microwave, but she was cold. And she ended up doing that several more times. Stupid cat. Now, if you know me really well, you've probably heard more than one cat story. And so you might be thinking, yeah, she's joking about the microwave, but did you hear about the... Okay, I'm going to explain myself. Picture it. Spring cleaning. And I'm stripped down the beds so that we can, change the sheets and so forth, fluff up the pillows, And I had laid the blankets off to the side. I was going to throw them not in the wash, but in the dryer to get them fluffed up. And so I grabbed my comforter and threw it in the dryer and then went into my office to work. And my husband says, a few minutes had gone by. My husband says, what did you put in the dryer? I said, nothing, just the comforter. And he goes, what's making that big thumping noise? I said, I don't know, maybe it's heavy. He says, you better go check it. And I'm like, I am busy. I will check it in a minute. Okay. Now only a minute had gone by. I swear. Okay. Since he said that, it might've been a total of 5 minutes total that the comforter had been in the dryer. So I go into the laundry room because I thinking, it does sound kind of weird. So I open the dryer and there is my beautiful cat, Dora, sweating, panting, eyes big as quarters. Of course, I'm horrified. I start screaming, Chad! And he comes running. The kids come running, and I'm panicking. Okay, the cat definitely has a concussion. She's a mess, and of course, we all having a family prayer over this cat, and she was my favorite cat, and I was so sorry. Oh. Anyway, we babied her and took the best care of her. 2 full weeks. I wouldn't let her outside. I gave her extra special food, pet her, held her, made the kids be extra quiet in the house in case she had a headache. And after 2 weeks, I decided, all right, she probably wants to go outside. So I opened the door to offer her if she would like to go outside. She took off running, ran straight to the field, and I never saw her again. It was the saddest story. Oh, such is life with a cat. We recently got a puppy. I'm sure we'll have some great puppy stories soon. Oh, that reminds me of the dog story we had when I was a kid, about 8 years old. We had a black lab and a little tiny retriever of some sort, or terrier, maybe it was a terrier. And the dogs wouldn't stay home. Dad couldn't get them to stay on the farm. They kept taking off to the neighbors. So he decided to take them to Virginia to give them to my uncle. He was willing to take them. And we had a big green Cadillac. Now, I don't have any idea why Dad decided not to buy a dog crate. I suppose they had them in the 1980s. But instead, he built these boxes out of wood and put chicken wire over the tops so that they could breathe and whatnot. And he put them in the trunk, and he didn't close the trunk. He just, completely, it was just somewhat closed and then tied down. And this is how we were going to transport these dogs to Virginia. And they had a, little latch. You could get them out. Of course, they would need to use the bathroom at least once while we were traveling. Well, we were going down the interstate. We hadn't been gone long, at least didn't seem like to me. And we're getting lots of honk, 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 and, pointing towards the rear. And Dad pulls over, gets out, and comes back with the two dogs. They had bit their way out of that chicken wire and came out, with their heads out. And so people were honking and so forth. That was the trip from where, okay? 3 little girls in the back seat of this big green Cadillac and these 2 dogs, one of them quite large. These are farm dogs, okay? Haven't been groomed or bathed or anything like that. So it's pretty uncomfortable, but we made it to Virginia and they lived long, happy lives with Uncle Millard. Thanks for joining us on Family Story Friday. And if you have a great story you'd like to share, send it to me in an email at the address below in the description. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Thanks. Bye-bye.